Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a story time of last Wednesday, July 8th. I had a pretty rough last Wednesday with everything happening. Like life is not normal right now. Everything is changing and it has been hard to adapt to some hard things that I've been dealing with by myself. I met with my provider, Jenny, at her house, and like a couple days ahead of meeting with her and working with her that day, I knew I had to really talk about some things about her and problem solving issues and understanding communication styles and working with someone else that I hired. So like all of this stuff is like pushing on me. I had Snowflake, who is passing away, my 8-year-old chicken. My sister's moving to Connecticut in 3 weeks, and my sister's roommate stayed here for a week, and I have been doing some dog sitting outside. So like all of these things I have to talk to her about, and things I had to process alone. And I am grateful that I hired another provider. I had 3 and now I have 4. So I felt like I had more responsibilities on my plate, which, yeah, some of it is my responsibilities, but my provider, Jenny, is now promoted to team leader. So she is my team leader. So if I have any questions about my contract, if I'm having a rough day and I need some help to process some information, she's there most of the days if I need support. And just with our schedules being reduced, it's hard to like work with her and have so much things to say. So she knows that she's promoted to team leader, and like with all the conversations I had, she knew like she had to take it over, because I felt a sigh of relief once it's like, okay, I don't have to manage this. I don't have to manage my team. Like I have 4 providers and I don't like managing people in general. That's why I manage my own dog business on the side, and I don't like being the manager of like my team. So Jenny, my awesome favorite provider, took that role, and I've been working with her the longest too. So we have a really good relationship and we work together really well. I'm very fortunate to have her in my life, and I knew that she was gonna take on more responsibilities involving managing my team, and I get to kind of like figure out the days and the times I work with her and my other providers. But when it comes down to business, she owns her own agency and she has experience in this field, and she helped my job coach with her stuff. So I just felt really good, because when I feel like I have questions about contracts or like detailed questions that I can't understand or I don't have the answers to because I'm not them, or like they try and solve those problems with me, I always thought about Jenny in my head, like when I worked with like Sarah or Lori or like maybe my new provider in a couple of weeks. I always thought about Jenny in my head. It's like, I wish Jenny was here so she could answer the question for them, but I didn't do that. I just stuck to it, and I had to advocate. And like with all like my team growing, like so many people like telling me different information, different stories, like their boundaries and rules, and it's like gets complicated. If I have my team leader, Jenny Davis, or just Jenny, she manages my favorite team and support team for me, because she is the boss of them and she is the owner of her agency with my other provider, Sarah. They're business partners and best friends, so they both work with me too once a week. So it's good to have that consistent schedule. And then my other providers are like on and off, like subs, and I work with some on the weekends. So I just feel very grateful that I have a opportunity to grow and learn from my team that is trying to support me the best way I need it. And of course, I'm a rare breed, so I'm very different compared to most other people who are labeled or have or experience autism or OCD or sensory processing disorder or like social anxiety or mental health things going on. Like, I'm not typical. Like, I can't really protect my emotions or feelings either. So when I arrived to her house, to Jenny's house, we were working in the backyard, and I was calm for 10 minutes, just talking about, I'm okay, I'm just kind of sad, and boy, I said something, and she said something, and I just broke down, and it was I worked with her from 9 a.m. to noon, and boy, I was crying and was upset. Again, I was upset because I didn't see her the week before because she had a family thing going on. So I understood that she needed a break. She had to take care of family stuff. So I understood that 100%. So I was trying to like manage my team and create my own schedule. And I wish Jenny was more involved if I had questions, but I had to wait. And then I exploded like 1,000 times. Like, I was not calm the whole shift I was with her. And I still had more things to say after we got done working together too. That's the funny thing, is like when I don't see people on a regular basis, or if our hours are shortened when working together, it keeps on piling up. Like, I have this to say, then this to say, and it keeps on piling up every few days. And then I just broke down because I lost control. So I'm so glad that my new provider is in her 30s. So it's a 20-year age difference than my other three providers. They're in the mid-50s. So working with someone younger who's like 8 years younger than me is going to be a really good thing. I am so excited to work with someone younger than me, or like work with someone like similar to my age, not younger than me, but like who's in their 30s, because my other providers, they're moms, they have lots of experience in life of that they lived. But my new provider that I hired, I think would be a good fit. I met her a few times, working with my other provider. They're related. I'm not gonna say who, just to protect my privacy and to protect their privacy and their boundaries that I have for them. But I'm just happy that I get to work with a mom and a daughter, so their perspective is going to be really different. And again, I'm not going to close on all of the information just to protect our privacy, but I'm just excited. So it was just very hard because my team leader, Jenny, had to email the team of all the things we discussed, and it was a long email, and sometimes I feel out of the loop since now my manager, Jenny, manages my team for me. And that's a good responsibility off my shoulders because I'm the client. I should not be controlling my team. So Jenny is doing that job because she, of course, gets paid for her job and she can manage people and I can't. I just don't want that for me. I thought, can Jenny do this? And boy, yes, she took that. She read my mind that day and said, yeah, I can do this. And boy, ooh, I was just like, was so relieved. I was, tears were going down my face. I was just like, please. I felt a big, don't have to worry about that. No way. But I do have to keep track of some things, but it's too minimal. So I'm just so excited. But again, Jenny had to write my team an email, and I know they do Zoom together and they talk, not with me, with them, but they talk between themselves to best support me. And I feel like it's like if you go to your mom for one thing and your dad for another thing, they're not on the same page. So I think Jenny is trying to keep everyone in the loop, and I asked her to send me that current email, so just in case I was not in the loop too, I wanted to remember and just see the protocol of how Jenny facilitated the conversation and communication, but I know they talk about me, but of course it's fine, um, because it's not my responsibility. I don't want to know how they support me, and if I do know, then I would know the tricks if they came up with something different, but they're trying to support me in a different way now, so I feel like things are going to be really different now, here and out, about how they communicate, how they address issues, how they do things with me. Like, it's going to be a lot different, and I want things simple and black and white, but no, of course that's not always the case. So I'm trying to have an open mind, be flexible. That's one of my trigger words I just mentioned to you in my last video. But be flexible, change is good and bad, compromise. Like, I'm trying my hardest to, like, work on all of that by myself too. But I'm just glad that Jenny is 110% there for me, and we have witnessed a lot together. I have been working with her for almost 3 years, and she has been with me every week, unless she misses a few weeks sometimes, but she has been there, and she knows how I operate. So that's why I like Jenny as my team leader, is because she worked with me longer than my other providers, and she just knows me. So she knows what happens to me. So I think that she gets me, like, brain-wise. We are different, but, like, she works with people and kids with disabilities and differences, and autism especially. So now I feel like she's a safe person to talk to, and I'm just really lucky to just have that in my life, because I for sure didn't want to manage my team. That took me over the roof. So I'm just excited, and it was just a really rough day last Wednesday, but hopefully if I have lots of things to say to her, and I see her once a week, I'll write an email every Sunday. So I think maybe if I have lots of things I need to say to her, I will write it in an email, and I did, like, numbers or bullet points of, like, all the things I need to say and address for, like, my next working time with her. So that's been helpful too, is to just know, like, she is opening her boundaries with me a lot, and she says, text me, like, email me if you have a question, if you need some help. Just, she's there for me about, like, working together and just processing information, which is still very hard for me. So I'm glad that I don't have to have this filling in and wait a whole week or wait 5 days. It's like torture, because I have a brain that doesn't stop. It gets stuck on things. So if I tell her, if I email her, then that's something off my plate, and then I don't have to hold that pressure in my body. Because last week I missed a week with her, and boy, did that go south and down. So she was patient and calm. Wow. And she's not giving up with me. I'm not giving up with her. I'm not giving up my team. I want this to work, and this is a learning process. So I feel really grateful, and I'm just glad I hired another person. And I'm not gonna say who, just for privacy reasons, but she has a full-time job. So I feel like working with her on the weekends is perfect, because I have nothing on the weekends most of the time either, besides dog sitting and friends and family. But I feel really grateful that my provider, Jenny, really hired her to work with me, and I'm her only client. So, because I know that she's patient and calm, and I just am just very excited for this new journey, and just to have a different perspective in my life. So that was my Wednesday, but hopefully as the virus calms down, I'll be working with my providers longer and have a steady routine, because I don't have any routine, no schedule, and it's just very hard on my body, because it's been 5 months of no structure and routine besides school. But now it's summer, but I don't have school anymore, but it's very hard to not have a stable routine. And I'm okay with, like, spontaneous things, but it's just like I don't know what to expect. So I am going to talk to Jenny on Wednesday and just have some more things to say to her, because I wrote an email last night on Sunday night about things I want to say, and I don't expect her to email me. I just expect her to listen to me when I work together with her in person. So that's probably the end of the story time of last Wednesday and some other things that happened to me. So I'll tell you more about my new provider, and just excited to just document more of my life on YouTube, because I hit 500 videos, and that video will be tomorrow for you guys, about hitting 500 videos on YouTube in 5 years. So I can't wait for you to watch that. But my life is pretty good, pretty fun and interesting. So just thought to just keep you guys updated and just to document my life. So I'll see you guys later.